Diva Luna could be as good as we've had since Barter's Hill.
Have we got a proper second season novice on our hands here for Bout's Greatness?
We have. If he believes in himself, he should be a very good bet. I think he's currently 17.
9-1, Ben. He's 9-1.
By the time you guys are off air, you'll have smashed that. He's around the 120 mark. And I think...
he's thrown in, Ben. He's absolutely thrown in, isn't he?
Hello and welcome back to the Only Fools Love Horses YouTube channel, and we're rolling on from British Champions Day, a good British Champions Day at Ascot, into what is known as the secondary start of the jumps, the first Cheltenham meeting of the year. Yes, it's the Cheltenham October meeting. We also have a Group 1 to talk about at Doncaster on the weekend, and also another interview. Our interview season is continuing. This time we have Ben Pauling on the show. He should be an absolute cracker. So hopefully it's a great video today. It's always a great video when it's us three on. Gentlemen, Lee, Champions Day, first of all, was it an enjoyable one? I thought Champions Day was quite good this year.
If you didn't have a punt, maybe. Look, I was all over us. He's went and won, but then I had 3 seconds on the day. I had a big price one in the last second again, and I had plenty of places. But yeah, look, I clawed my money back. That'll do me. It's a tough punting day, and look, it's hard end of season, softer conditions, ground, and yeah. But look, all in all, it was a good day. I think there was some unlucky horses, but I think people often don't see the winner and they see their own horse. Kalandagana, I thought, oh, he's been unlucky. But then when you watch it back, actually, the winner's probably bolted in. So, yeah, and he had a similar passage, and Matt. But yeah, look, good day all around anyway.
Yeah, I agree. Some of the comments that were like, he's the unluckiest loser we've seen in history. That was wrong. You're at Cheltenham this weekend, aren't you, Lee?
Yeah, Cheltenham this weekend, Ash. I can't wait. Down your neck of the woods, anyways. And, look, I'm there for a couple of days and be relax. I'm there with Imperial Racing, Ian Robinson in their group. But yeah, look, it should be a cracking weekend. There's some good, races on there. There's one we're going to discuss on the Saturday, and there's some good handicaps. But there's some good horses and good names out as well. So looking forward to it.
Yeah, should be very, very good. Hopefully find us the next Imperial Commander while you're there. Harry, Cheltenham this weekend. Look, you're a Jumps fan. We're all Jumps fans. It's not like the biggest meeting of the Cheltenham year, but as Lee said, there's some good horses out on display, hopefully.
No one cares. Cheltenham's back. That is the main thing that comes around. One thing I would say, just going back to Champions Day, Ash, I want to apologise here. I did say about Kalpana, you stuck with the faith, so fair play. But in fairness to the channel, we said 3 horses that were our best bets. Kyprios with Lee, I said Charin, and you said Kalpana.
Oh. I think I ended up going with Clandagan in the end. Yeah, no.
Take the credit. Take the credit, Lee. Lee, look, you've fired enough winners.
He was my best. He was my nap of the day, but it's 45. You can't
you firing enough winners anyway. It's far too many at this point. So if we've done all right anyway, we've done all right. But no, Ash, it's brilliant to be back. Are you looking forward to it?
Oh, I'm looking forward to it. And with the new style of videos that we're doing this season, we're going to keep it nice and short. So we're only going to cover 2 races. The Group 1 Futurity Stakes, which is a big race over on the flat at Doncaster, as much as Harry will try and disagree. And also we're going to do the Masterson Holdings Hurdle at Cheltenham, because we kind of know more about what's happening in the race, like the Grade 2 that's on the Friday. There's a couple of double entries. But we're also, before we dive into that, Ben Pauling kindly joined us. So we're going to dive into the interview of him, looking ahead to this season and hopefully his runners this week. Pleasure to be joined by Ben Pauling ahead of the Cheltenham October meeting, and I suppose the National Hunt season starting up. Ben, first of all, how are you, and how's the team shaping ahead of the start of the jumps?
Yeah, we're all good, thank you very much. And yeah, we're doing plenty with the horses at the moment. They're doing as much work as they ever will do, really, in preparation for their first runs, but they seem in good order, and yeah, it all seems to be going along quite nicely at the moment.
That's great to hear. And obviously, there's big expectations, or maybe just hopes for the season. What are some of the expectations or maybe hopes that you've got for this upcoming season? Because, you've just come off the back of winning at the Cheltenham Festival with Shaking Up Harry. You've got some really nice horses in the yard this year.
Yeah, we have. We've got probably a better bunch than we've had for a little while. some nice novices from last year. We had a particularly strong bunch of novice hurdlers last season that will go novice chasing, and then some lovely bump horses as well to go novice hurdling this time. We've bought a few decent pointing types without sort of spending the massive money. I think we've nice horses from the Irish point-to-point field as well. So yeah, hopefully we can keep improving the quality in the yard, and if we can keep featuring on the big days, well, that's what we're aiming to do.
Fingers crossed, and we'll get stuck into them later on. I'm going to pass over to Lee because ultimately Cheltenham's on the weekend. You've got a couple entered, so I'll hand over to Lee.
Yeah, Ben. Well, I want to quickly mention one of my favourite horses was Willoughby Court. And we'll transition into Cheltenham there and your runners at the weekend. But will you just tell us about what it's like to have a winner at Cheltenham and especially Willoughby Court? I mean, I remember he was game as anything and beat the favourite on that day. What was that feeling like?
Yeah, it was pretty amazing. The first festival winner is always going to be pretty special. I think at the time it was a winner at the festival, and then you look back at it and it was a Grade 1 novice hurdler, was quite cool as well. So it was a pretty special way to get off the mark. As you said, he was all heart that day and battled all the way up the hill. And look at that, Wolf Moon was favourite and trained by Harry Fry, and it was won by another English trainer. It'd be nice if we could see another novice hurdle like that in the coming years. But it's a very special place. It always has been, and winners there are hard to come by no matter what time of the year it is. So everyone is appreciated, and you really want to try and compete there as much as you can, and that's what we're trying to do.
Yeah, and you've got a few runners there on Friday and Saturday, a couple in the amateur races, but you've got Fiercely Proud and such like. What's the team looking like going into the weekend?
So Mole Court won this race last year off of £10 lower or something like that. So he's got it all to do at the weights, but he is a decent horse these days. I think he's got a little bit of room left in his mark. He's changed a lot in the last sort of 6 months. He shows a lot more tactical speed than he ever showed, and we've got to change the way we rode him, because in the Summer Plate and the Summer Cup we rode him too handy and he just did too much, and then paid the price certainly in the Summer Plate for just travelling far too well early doors. So we'll be dropped in sort of halfway back, I should think, with a bit of cover, and I think he's in the form to go very close again. So that's good. Wick Green, this is his swan song. He's been a brilliant horse. We've only had him 18 months, but I think he's won 5 races, and he's done his owners proud. So I think this will be his last day in the light. So hopefully he'll give Elliot England, who's an amateur in the yard there, a nice first spin round Cheltenham. And who knows, he's an old boy that has his own ideas, but we're going to put a pair of blinkers on him for the first time and see if that sparks him up. He's not been running that badly. He's just going through the motions a bit, but he'll run there. Fiercely Proud, his main aim is the Greatwood, so this is very much a prep for the Greatwood hurdle. He obviously won his bumper here, but ever since then we've been keen to get him back in at Cheltenham just to see how he handles the track over 2 miles, a strong run 2 miles, and so we'll find that out on Friday as well. But he's very much fit enough to run well, but I'm not sure. I think there'll be a little bit of improvement in him. He might still be close because I think the form's working out particularly well. Obviously, Lump Sum has come out and won. The Harry Derham horse, whatever it's called, has come out and won. He beat at Hereford. And there's bits and bobs elsewhere as well. So I think the form is very strong, but the Greatwood's very much the aim with him. Hardy Boy will probably go on Saturday. He might be a couple of pounds out of the handicap, but he's run really well this season in defeat as well as winning once. But he's I don't know. I think he could be well suited by the track, and the ground will be in his favour. And then Bow to Greatness will probably run in either the 2.5 handicap or the 3 mile novice. We're planning on changing a few things with him this year. He's been incredibly highly tried in big handicaps, and I think actually we'll just drop him back. But he's still a novice, even though he's finished second and third in some very valuable handicaps. So he should be quite a dangerous novice chaser this season because he'll have a lot of experience in hand, you know, and the newly framed National Hunt Chase.
Look, Ben, can I just stop you? Ash has been waiting. He's been literally giggling away because he loves the idea of Bow to Greatness for the National Hunt Chase, and he's been saying all afternoon, I just want Ben to confirm that he's going to go to the
Ben,
National.
you may or may not know this. I am his biggest fan. I am his biggest fan. Whenever I've spoken to you, the one horse I want to know about is Bow to Greatness. And last year, I was his biggest fan. Kim Muir, I pretty much had the bunting out for him in the Kim Muir. Have we got a proper second season novice on our hands here for Bow to Greatness?
We have. He's you know, I don't know, I going to win a big handicap, and it's not that he wasn't going through with it, but he's lost that. I think he's slightly lost that belief in himself, actually, if I'm being brutally honest. So we'll drop him back into novice company, and he should be able to just put his experience to good use, and then hopefully he can scale the heights. And you never know, he might end up a well-handicapped horse in that race. So that's the plan.
Perfect. Are you hopeful for the weekend then, are you, of him?
He always needs his first run, but we got to start him somewhere.
Amazing.
I'll quickly ask. I got a question put to us. I said you were going to be on the show, and my friend mentioned Champagne Twist and Peak Rock. You had them 1-2 in the big hurdle race, the final there at Sandown. How are they looking? I think they've went up £7 or £8 a piece there. How are they looking?
Yeah, very good. Pick Rock is been waiting for fences all his career, really. Hurdles have just got in his way. He jumped on the grass for the first time, and he looked particularly good order. He might go to Carlisle beginning of November for a novice handicap chase, and then Champagne Twist is going to stay over hurdles for now. He'll go straight to the November meeting for the 2 mile 5 0 to 140. And if he was good enough to win that, then we might be looking to some of the better staying sort of hurdle races this season. It's not that he won't jump a fence. It's more the fact that I don't know. I feel like there's plenty of room for improvement in him, and the hurdle division is not that strong. And he's not the biggest horse in the world, so he's not like he's been waiting for a fence all his life. So I thought we'd give him another shot in the hurdles division.
Fair. Harry?
Good stuff. Now, Ben, we quickly spoke off camera. I mean, you've made Ash's day about Bow to Greatness, but Dylan Cunha made everyone's day last Wednesday when this video was released. After he gave us a horse to watch for Wednesday night, we should say, and it duly obliged and it won. Now, I'll pose the same question to you, Ben. You've been brilliant so far up until now, and I understand there might be one for tomorrow or today when this is released that you're quite keen on. So is there any chance you could give everyone out there a few quid to go into Cheltenham with? Because I mean, we all need it.
And we've got busy day. It's our first busy day of the season. We've got 5 at Fontwell and 1 at Southwell. And just at the prices, because I know what he's like, Samarsall, he won a bumper. We thought he was the apple of our eye. He went awry last season over novice hurdles, and then probably wasn't himself when he ran in handicaps at the end of last season. And he took a long time to sort of even look okay in the field. He went out in the field and coat was dull, and he just didn't do well in the summer, and that's a sign of a horse that isn't overly well in themselves. So we've given him plenty of time in the field. He ended up looking great. He schooled over fences this morning for the 3rd time very, very well. And if he believes in himself, he should be a very good bet. I think he's currently 17
9 to 1, man. He's 9 to 1.
Yeah. By the time you guys are off air, you'll have smashed that.
But no, Ben, I'll pose you another question. We have spoke about a lot of horses in here, and look, it's going to be a very, very busy time of year for you. Is there one horse in particular that's maybe going under the radar that you're really looking forward to unleash? It could be a well-handicapped horse. It could be a really nice novice hurdler that no one's really talking about. Is there one horse that I can pin you down to that you'd call as probably your dark horse of the season?
I think it's not like they're not talking. There's a few. There's the novice hurdle division again. We're very strong, I think. No questions asked. Finished 5th in the Aintree Bumper and won as he liked at Market Raise, and he did too much at Aintree. Royce, who won at Newbury Bumper, he's pretty damn smart as well. One that I like the look of at the moment is a horse called As Legends Have It. Won a Foss last Bumper, was second in a Stratford Bumper, and I think he's all right. But I suppose, without giving too many secrets away, we always thought a huge amount of a horse called Leader in the Park. And I honestly thought that was our best novice hurdler going into last season. And he won, and he was second at Ascot or third at Ascot. And let's be honest, he's a nice horse, but he's not the 140 plus horse that I was expecting to see over hurdles. And I think I was always thinking it might just be a bit of time, but we did a bone scan with the permission of his owners, and he had a fractured rib. The first rib was fractured, and so if you can imagine, every time the girth was done up, he was fairly sore, and I just don't think he was able to show his best. So he's around the 120 mark, and I think
he's thrown in, Ben. He's absolutely thrown in, isn't he?
Could be very, very smart in novice chases this season, but he'll start off in some handicaps, and so we'll go from there. But he's probably my dark horse of the season.
Very good. That's one. I think he'll be as a good friend of ours, Dan Overall. He does a sort of like a series, and I'm pretty sure he's mentioned Leader in the Park ahead of this season. So I think you'll be making him happy. Ben, you've been amazing. So I won't keep you for too much longer at all. But just of your top horses, you've got like Henry's Friend, Diva Luna, Personal Ambition, the Jukebox Man. Harry's a big fan of that horse. Handstands. What
felt
can we
sick, by the way, Ben? Felt sick when he got nabbed. I mean, I don't know what you felt like, but I was stood where I think there was a young girl that was leading him up. Oh, I was stood next to her, and I was sharing her thoughts at the same time. I don't know how you felt.
That was a shame, but that's all in the past. Yeah, I mean, I suppose Jukebox Man, Diva Luna, Handstands, I can see all three of those being proper horses in the future. Diva Luna could be as good as we've had since Barter's Hill. She just hasn't had to try at all, really. Jukebox Man has already proven himself to be a Grade 1 contender, and is only going to be better over fences and probably a drop-in trip to start with, because I think he got more speed than I thought he had. And Handstands couldn't have impressed more in the Sydney Banks if he tried. But just one run too many at the festival. So they're three absolute belters, and in behind you've got loads of horses. You've got the Henry's Friends, you've got the Harrys, you've got Twig going for the Nationals, you've got lots of nice novice hurdlers, you've got Personal Ambition for the chasers. You know, there's much more strength in depth than we've had before. My job now is just to keep them sound, and then they'll do the rest.
Is there one that you're targeting for a big race, like a Coral Gold Cup or a something like that you're really looking forward to?
Henry goes for the Coral Gold Cup. Harry will just be taking a back seat this side of Christmas until he'll be aimed at the Veterans Chase, because he's a veteran, and it should be, you know, he's a 10-year-old with a 5-year physical body, and I would put I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't go up too much more for him to go and put up a big show in March again, whether it's back in the Plate or the Ultima. Depends on how we get on over 3 miles in the Veterans Chases. But you know, he's a spring horse that thrives, and yeah, there's so many, unfortunately, that we could talk about all night. But
Really good.
we'll hope they all stay healthy and well, and then they can do the talking.
I think it's a bigger compliment than we can all say, that the amount of horses we want to mention just shows the amount of firepower you have in the yard, Ben. So best of luck to this season. Thank you very much for spending your time on this Tuesday evening to come and speak to us, and we really do wish you the best of luck for the weekend and the season going forward. Thank you, Ben.
No worries. Thanks, gents.
Thank you very much, Ben, for his time. Really insightful stuff, and hopefully has a good week if he has some runners at Cheltenham. Gentlemen, we'll just roll into it then, shall we? On the back of Cheltenham, on the back of talk about the jumps, the Masterson Holdings hurdle. It's always a very interesting race because it's a 4-year-old exclusive race, but some proper horses this year. And we're going to just run through the market very, very quickly. Botter's Secret 7-4, Khalif de Burle. Paul Nichols described as we haven't had a horse like this for a while. 4-1. Salva the same price. Give me 5, 8-1. Dodger Long, Chepstow winner 11-1, Eagles range 16 is bigger. The rest. Lee, I'll give first stab to you. Bottler's Secret. I've seen talk about this horse being a Grade 1 horse. Is he your idea of the winner?
I think it's tough at the top. Khalif de Burle, you'd look at that one more closely if the yard was in good form. They've had plenty of turned over that they're not being firing. I'm happy to scratch off straight away. Look, might come out there and just have the class for it. I just think, look, the tide will turn soon. Maybe he's need a couple more weeks, as Paul's mentioned on telly there. And yeah, I'm just happy to dodge at current state. The one I think is the best in the race is Salva, but needs softer conditions. Third in the Triumph, loves the mud, won in the mud, won at graded level. The form worked out fair. I think Marge was a good horse. Cargizi went and won that race that Bottler's Secret ran in. But yeah, I just think it's Salva's to lose if the conditions are right. Maybe he's a bit more juice in the ground, but has one on good to soft as well. I don't know if there's much rain about. Ash, you maybe's been to tell with that. No, yeah.
I reckon it'll be good ground.
Yeah, so whether Salva would even take the chance is a different question. I think Salva's the best in there. If Salva doesn't go, I think the favourite Bottler's Secret is definitely be the one to go on. So top of the market, yeah, but I'm happy to scratch off Khalif de Burle for now anyway.
Yes, that was an interesting one because you've got to say, like, form-wise from his juvenile season, he is, bang there. And the interesting thing, I suppose, is that he is a half to Soldier, and we all know about Soldier with Willie Mullins. He won mainly on good ground. He won a Galway hurdle on good. He won on good to yielding. So, like, I suppose pedigree-wise, you can maybe make an argument. As you said, he won on good to soft. I do think he potentially probably prefers that soft conditions. And a small worry for me as well is the Gary and Josh Moore stable form at the moment. They're not in an amazing form. Maybe horses just needing their first runs for the yard. They're 4 from 40. So I'd be a small bit worried about Salva. Harry, you off camera said Bottler's Secret is a horse you do like. Are you sticking it in the 10 minutes? Have you changed?
No. I think it'd be a mug if I did. Look, I just think that this horse is just far too. Khalif de Burle, I mean, don't get me wrong, he was absolutely pumped by Sergino, like pumped. I mean, I don't think this horse is. I think he's all right, but I don't think he's that good.
Chase, isn't he? After this,
and he looks like a chaser. I mean, you look at. Yeah. I was there at Kempton when he beat Give Me 5. And he's just an absolute beast. And the two of them are completely different. Now, I'd like to see if Give Me 5 has put on a little bit of I don't know how to describe it. He's got a little bit more scope. But the Khalif de Burle, I mean, if he's filled out, Jesus Christ, it could be an absolute oil rig. I mean, it could be massive. He won't be this sort of hurdling type. And Bottler's Secret is just far too good. He actually beat a horse called Trust Your Instinct that was in third to him at Naas, who's obviously now rated in the 108s, one at Leopardstown, that big group 3, I think it was it on Champions Day? I think it was.
That JP horse has gone on the flat now,
isn't it? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Look, I think this horse has just got a lot of class, and look, Gavin Cromwell, we don't need a miracle to tell you that he likes coming over to Cheltenham and stealing all the money. So look, he's got a cracking chance here, and look, I think 7-4 is seriously valued.
I think the race is very interesting. I was on this side of I'd just put a line through Khalif de Burle on how the Paul Nicholls horses are running. He's a big scopy type. He probably is one of those types that's going to need the run. I will just read a quote from Nicholls after that Kempton win. He's one of the nicest we've had in a long time. To win 3 races in a big horse like that as a juvenile is impressive. So we just need to mind him. So I just don't know if he's really that sort of 4-year-old hurdle, first time out, decent race kind of type. Bottle Secret, completely get what you mean, Harry. Like, got great form in the book, beaten by Cargeese the last day, I want to say.
Yeah, only about
so like really good form. I just don't know. Like, again, first time out, I'm not sure. And like ground wise, like he's been doing a lot of his winning on soft ground, and it will be good ground. The one I thought was just a safe bet, and this isn't like a certainty, but the safe bet's give me 5 in this. He's had a prep run on the flat last time out where he ran heavy conditions at Haydock. He ran an absolute screamer, finishing second to Surrey Bell. It was his first start since the 1st of April, where he was beaten by Bottle Secret at Fairy House. Probably just won too many races last year. It sort of caught up to him in the end because he came from a flat campaign in September and then was hurdling for Harry Durham in December. So I just think maybe won too many runs last year. And I thought it's an absolute scream of a run from Gimme 5. I think he's got a lovely little frame that's going to suggest that like hurdles at this age are completely like his bag. Like he's not Khalif de Burle, he's nowhere near him. And I think he's race fit, and Harry Durham has been plotting the race for him. So 8-1, he was the safest bet I saw at this stage at the prices and taking it all in. So would be
my worry, Ash. That would be my worry, right? These are horses that are going to be filling out, and they're going to be getting bigger, and they're going to be getting stronger. And Gimme 5 just isn't. It doesn't look that type of horse to be doing that.
But he looks like a hurt. Like he's obviously a ex-flat horse, and
yeah,
a lot of them are ex-flat horses. So like, I just think and the ex-flat horse is key there, because although he's been doing most of his hurdling in softer conditions, on the flat he was running on good ground and running good races on good ground. So I think he'd be all right. Anyway, Lee,
when are you going to start filling out, Harry?
I intend to stay like this.
I think I've filled out already. Don't worry.
No,
you're making weight on it, Harry. You've got a charity race soon, haven't you? Surely that's what you've been keeping the side for, haven't you?
Look, we were in France actually. We were in Chantilly, obviously, with the Venator lot, and when we were out there, one of the girls that was doing, she was showing all the girls, and she said, "You'd be a good jockey." I was like, "Yeah, well, you haven't seen me sit on a horse, dog, so we'll keep to that."
We wouldn't want to see it either, to be fair.
Exactly.
Shemaine, if you are riding a greyhound.
Look, yeah, I've got Ralph. We'll ride Ralph. Put a saddle on him.
Anyway, I think that's a cue to say we've spoken enough about the Masterson Holdings hurdle. Before we do anything else on Cheltenham, we're going to go over and talk about the Group 1 on the weekend, because it is a Group 1. It's the Futurity Stakes over in Doncaster, the final Group 1 of the season. Should be an interesting race, because there's no Group 1 winners in the field, and it's quite open currently. Wimbledon Hawkeye topping the market, 7-2, I believe, the Racing Post lows, 7-2. Delacroix, 5-1. Detain, 6s. Anno Domini, 8s. Hot as Hell, the same price from Matari Bay, bigger the rest. I'm going to go to Lee again, because I feel like you're going to be hot on this. Wimbledon Hawkeye, winner last time out. Is he going to win again here?
Won on soft conditions, Ash, last time out. So looks to step forward from into Group 1 company. Has form there in the book. There's something just about him. I don't know if he screams Group 1 winner to me. I'm unsure. Delacroix, 2 runs back, looks slightly awkward. Maybe I don't want to pigeonhole him into being something that he's not, but it was just something like slightly dodgy about that run. Last time out, he did battle low and won it well at the line, and I can see this suiting. He's basically the chosen one for Aidan O'Brien. And what I'm going to give it a massive price though, Monumental of O'Brien's as well. I have to put a caution on, if this horse runs, it won't be this big. I think it's around 40s or 50s, 66s. Look, it's worth a couple of quid. The problem is it might not run. That's the problem. If they're just choosing to have Delacroix, fair dues, but look, a pound or two is what I'm suggesting, because in back each way anyway, you're getting 3 places at the minute. It's 66s. like I say, course form, stayed on well, might just get away from him if they use him as a target for Delacroix. Maybe he's yeah. Look, I can see him staying on in a place. To be honest, Ash. So it hit a massive price, monumental, but it's tough at the top. There's a few unexposed ones, but we know kind of where we're at with Wimbledon Hawkeye, I would have said.
Yeah, certainly a monumental price there. Harry, yourself, what do you fancy in the Futurity Stakes?
I think, look, Wimbledon Hawkeye, I think if you're Ballydoyle, you want them to, well, not obviously win, smack, but I mean, in regards to the line in winter, you want the form to keep upholding, you know, and you want the horse to keep improving, because I mean, Wimbledon Hawkeye was put in his place by the line in winter, and so was the ruling court. I mean, it was a pretty good Acomb Stakes, and you know that's the way that I'd be looking. I think Detain is an interesting one. You know, I mean, I got one Juddmonte horse that had just come off the all weather. I got that horse certainly wrong, so I don't want to keep doing that again. But I think Detain could be a bit special, and I'd prefer him to Delacroix, because I think Delacroix I can't see him beating Wimbledon Hawkeye. I think it was a pretty bad Group 3, if I'm going to be honest, at Newmarket, and I think I'm going to give Wimbledon Hawkeye. I won't be backing anything, because I mean Doncaster October.
What about they didn't have like a standout for this race? Aidan O'Brien, that's the problem. They never had a standout. You know, and Delacroix has now come into the fold because they didn't have much else. I remember after Newmarket, and Ryan Moore said, like, look, this could be where Futurity, you know, horse, because they didn't have much standout for the race.
Well, I mean, you'd imagine they won't go to the Breeders' Cup, so that's only 11 days away now, as well, 10 days when the video comes out. So it's probably last chance saloon to get these horses to run on the turf, isn't it? So
yeah. I'd be worried about Delacroix. I don't think he's more on the A team, and I agree with you there. Yeah, Lee, he's probably more on the B team side of things. I had two for this race, and they're both the same price now. They both drifted. Well, one's drifted to 8-1, the one's come into 8-1. Going to start with Matari Bay. I think there's an interesting form line between both him and Wimbledon Hawkeye, and the fact that they have Royal Playwright in their form. I thought last time out, Wimbledon Hawkeye did enough from the front, and then Royal Playwright stayed on the same pace as Wimbledon Hawkeye. Whereas Matari Bay last time out, when second to Field of Gold, kicked on clear of Royal Playwright, did really well, and didn't have the pace of 7 furlongs, so the step up to a mile this time out should really work. I think he's a quality horse, this Matari Bay. He beat Shah on debuts, rated 91. Also, Night Walker is rated 103, and Marchogian, who's rated 89. Full brother to a Group 1 winning Juvenile Aunt Pearl, and the Dam's full sister won on Group 3 over a mile 1, and placed in a Group 1 over a mile 1, and the Dam won a listed race on over a mile. So this step up and trip should really suit him. I think he's quite unexposed, and I really like his chance in this, but that's Matari Bay. But the other interesting one is Anno Domini, not been seen on the track for 113 days. But I remember, I'm going to name drop here, so I'm sure he doesn't watch our videos, but Matt Coleman, the bloodstock agent, he came in to talk to us BHA graduate people through the summer and said that Anno Domini is one of the best Godolphin juveniles this season, and hasn't been seen since, but he's unbeaten in 2. His last start, he beat Wind Lord, who's now rated 105, when giving £5 away. Angel Hunter was in 3rd, who's rated 90, having won a nice nursery at York. And he's a half-brother to Kathmandu, placed in a Group 1 on soft. And other half-bro, Blue Gardenia, won a listed on soft. So if it does turn out that slightly softer ground on the weekend, it is currently soft ground at Doncaster, but no rains predicted. I think he's got a chance on sort of conditions wise. So I think Anno Domini is a bit of an interesting one in this, and hopefully he can outrun his odds and run well for his sort of first time on the track for a while. But that's how I saw the Futurity, and it's a very open race, that's for sure. We'll go for anything else, because there is Cheltenham on the weekend. I have a couple of fancies. Harry, you're a busy boy. Do you have anything else on the weekend?
Yeah, there's 2 Old Gold horses actually that are probably worth noting. Apple Away, she's back. She goes to Kelso. Now she's got to contend with a pretty lofty handicap mark, but the novice hurdler Kingston James is certainly one for your notebooks. He won last time out. He's a proper horse. He really is a proper horse. He destroyed. He destroyed the field at Hexham. Not sure what race it really was, but I mean, there's no better feeling than a winning novice hurdler on your first time out. So I think Kingston James could be a really nice horse, and he's certainly one to look out for. He's doubly entered. He's in the second race at Cheltenham on Saturday, and he's also in on Friday. Another mention to a good fan of the podcast. We've had him on a couple of times. Declan, he's going to Friday. He's going to Cheltenham on Friday, and Cian Darner is there in the amateur riders chase. So best of luck to Cian, and hopefully Dec's little lad is back on TV as well.
Some story. Good horse. Lee, anything else for the weekend?
Look, may not run again. I've got a few that may not run. Just hold your bets. If you want to take the chance, look on them, pick up race ones. Yeah, fair play. But Al Aussie back against Al Kareem in Group 3. I just think the race definitely got away. I'm not blaming any jockeys. I'm not no jockey. I'll be putting plenty of overweight up if I was a jockey. But I think it was a mistake to leave him so far out of his ground at Ascot to try and chase down a horse that enjoys them conditions in Al Kareem. They're reopposed again here. It is similar conditions, but I don't think Jim Crowley, who's back on board now and won plenty, I don't think he'll let Al Kareem get away, that's for sure. Will be played late again as usual. But 3-time winner at Newbury, Group 3s, do you know what I mean? Like, so it's just his bag, basically. Conditions are slightly against them again because he does prefer that bit better ground, but I think he can beat Al Kareem. But I'd probably just hold out on the bet just in case they just pull him out. Like we mentioned before, though, it's the back end of the season. Where you're going to go with him? This is his bag in a Group 3 on a track he likes. Like, where you going otherwise? Like, take your chance, I would have said. Yeah,
definitely. Hold your bets if you're worried, but I love Al Aussie, great horse. I've got a couple, and I'm going to Cheltenham. The 225 Cheltenham is a nice handicap chase. I think it's a square in the air novices, or just square in the air handicap chase. Give him a mention. Used to work for them. Got to do my dues sometimes. There's two in the race. Matata is 9-2, rated 147, which is a nice mark to my eye. Was second to Liberty Lane at Cheltenham last season off a mark of 142. We're making a big mistake at the last. Liberty Lane went on to be the runner-up in the Grand Annual and then finished third in the Grade 1. That form looks nice. I think Matata is a graded horse, ultimately. I think he's probably good enough to contend in Grade 1. I'm not going to try and say he's a Grade 1 winner in waiting, but I think he's good enough to run those races. I mean, connections for that as well. They ran in a Grade 1 at Aintree and in the Arkle. I think coming back into handicap company for Mark 147, he's won on good ground before and he's gone well first time out. Daryl Jacobs booked as well, so it's his only ride on the day as we speak. So yeah, I think Matata 9-2, but in the same race, I actually genuinely saw these two as the only big contenders with sort of like form that go on the ground and they go first time out. And the other one was Arc Light, 10-1, Nikki Henderson. She was a real big improver last year. She won like 3 races in a row. Her final one was when she beat Marsh Wren, who went to finish third in the Mare's Chase and also won 2 other races as well. Also, like last season, beat Carroll's Pass at Exeter, who went on to win a listed race at the same track. So the form's working out nicely. She runs off 136 and she gets weight. I think there's a lot to go for her. And the handicap chase on the Saturday. Now, I've left it out of my notes, so I'm going to have to really rack this in my brain because the race that has Broadway Boy running in is the 3 mile 1 handicap chase. There's 2 horses that are on my early agenda. I'm not going to necessarily make them bets, but by the time I wake up in the morning, I potentially might do because there's a lot standing out to me. Some Scope will like good ground. He's going to be a big improver this year for marker 126. I thought he did really well in the Grimthorpe behind Does He Know. Carl Hinchy, who I speak to on sort of the off occasion, thinks this horse is so good, and I just think he's better than 126. If he's raring to go first time out, then I think he's got a great chance. But the one who should be raring to go first time out, because he does go well fresh, is Quick Draw for Nicky Henderson. I feel like I'm a bit of a Nicky Henderson fan this season. 14-1. He's won on good ground before. He's won first time out before. He beat man of the people at Wincanton on his second last start. He went on to win at Cheltenham and ran a good race at Chepstow the other day. I think he's still got a little bit of unexposed improvement off a mark of 137, but that's all I'll mention as my anything else. Gentlemen, we'll just wrap it up there. We're keeping these videos shorter, sweeter. Me and Leah at Cheltenham on the Friday and Saturday. I'm actually I'm not in a working capacity on the Friday.
You're on the piss.
Basically, yeah. If you see me or if you see Lee, say only fools is goated, and I'll buy you a pint. There you go. First person to do that. I'm not buying for everyone. I'm an ex-student. I'm absolutely bankrupt at the moment. But our first person to say only fools love horses is goated. I'll buy you a pint.
I'll also match that. First pint only.
Yeah,
I won't be there.
And not a pint of champagne either, a pint of Guinness. We'll be back 10:30 a.m., I assume, doing the Saturday Live, talking more in depth about the Saturday racing when we have full declarations and information. And we'll be doing these videos regularly. If you're enjoying the videos, make sure to comment your big fancy of the weekend down below. Like it, share it, tell your pets, tell your family. Anything else to mention, gentlemen?
TikTok. We're on TikTok. In the
there we go.
We're over, well, I think there's 21,000 viewed.
Is it? Well, I didn't realize it was over that. It was over the 20K. Yeah. I looked at it. It was about 18 at one point.
No, it's great numbers across there. We'll keep regularly tweeting out, the link for there. But go and check ours out. Is it Only Fools of Horses podcast or
OFLH podcast? I believe. Yeah. Follow us on TikTok. Dylan Cunha is a massive. Big one for us last week, giving us a winner, and just absolutely smashed it with the 21.
Well, hopefully Ben's give us the winner. Hopefully Ben give us a winner. Obviously in the little interview that we've done. So fingers crossed.
We'll let you into a secret. We're recording this before the Ben Pauling interview, so we are fingers crossed hoping there's a winner there. We'll let you into a little bit of the dark arts of our recording. No, thank you very much. If you did enjoy, please do like and subscribe. And if you're having a bet on any of our plays, do it responsibly. Best of luck, and we'll see you very, very soon.